Itsmintsalad and I saw X-Men Origins Wolverine. It is directed by Gavin Hood, written by David Benoff, Skip Wood, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie starts and we're following Wolverine, but he's a tiny little guy. He's so anxious by seeing his father get killed that he develops his bone claws and kills the guy who killed his father, but also he has a brother with some cool claw abilities. I like it. I like how they are very buddy-buddy at the very beginning of their life, and then over time, it seems like his brother, Wolverine's brother, just has to start being so violent and so bloodthirsty, and even tries to non-consensually have sex with a lady. And he also kills the person who's trying to stop him from doing that. So immediately we got an out-of-control brother. I'm like, okay, this is pretty intense. I like this actually. I like how we see that Wolverine has a brother and they have a little bit of a duel, and they both enter World War I and World War II, which is pretty neat. I'm like, yes, okay, they're war vets. And what's fun about Wolverine is throughout the movie, he has battles with his brother, because his brother is off the rails. Like, dude is just downright just bloodthirsty, trying to be violent all the time. I honestly like their dynamic. There's a guy that comes to Wolverine. He'd be like, oh, can you come and do this experiment, please? Can you do this experiment? Wolverine says no. He instead goes, hangs out with the lady for a few years, and it's nice. They're actually in love. You know, Wolverine looks so happy. He's actually smiling. I think this is like the only time where I see Wolverine smiling is when he's just with this chick. And you know what happens to this chick? She dies. That's sad. Or at least Wolverine thinks that she dies. She's like, okay, my life is no longer complete. Fine, I'll do your freaking experiments. He does the experiments and it looks painful. Like his life is flashing before his eyes. He's thinking about the past. He's thinking about the girl that he lost. He's like, I'm in pain. Ah! I like it. I actually like this movie. I like saying the origin of Wolverine. I like seeing what pain that he's experienced. I like seeing that Sabertooth is actually his brother, which is pretty cool. And I also like him having to deal with the fact that his girlfriend is actually not dead. It was all a ploy, it was all a trick, it was all a ruse. And Wolverine gets angry. Because Wolverine did so well, let's create Weapon 11. By the way, Wolverine is Weapon X. This is now Weapon XI. And this guy is Deadpool. Oh my goodness, did you notice this Ryan Reynolds? What? I did not actually recognize that as him. And what's interesting, this guy just keeps on talking and keeps on talking. And when he's his Weapon 11, when he's at Weapon 11, his mouth is just shut. I'm like, dude, this sucks. I hate this. And I hate how Deadpool looks. So we have Wolverine and Deadpool just fighting each other. I think the worst part of this movie has to be that Deadpool is here and is underrated and isn't as quippy as he is in the Deadpool movies. Look, I've seen Deadpool before watching this movie, so I'm seeing Deadpool here now, and I'm like, man, this sucks. This sucks. But I like the origin of Wolverine. I'm a big fan of that part. I do like seeing Wolverine and Weapon X fight. I like seeing Sabertooth and Wolverine fight. I like seeing all of them fight together. Okay, here's something that's really weird to me. Oh, let's just shoot you through the head so your memories are lost. So, and also that we're using an adamantium bullet. Yes, adamantium bullet through the Wolverine's head. That chick just goes walk away. She's pretty much almost dying. And then what's fun is that she dies. Wolverine wakes up and he has no memory. And I'm like, okay, So this is why Wolverine isn't more angry. He's just like, why am I here? Why am I in the middle of the desert? This is so strange. This is so fascinating. I find it fascinating that he just looks at a chick there. He's like, I feel some sort of emotional connection to her, but I don't know who she is. And then he just walks off, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. So overall, I think I enjoyed seeing Wolverine's origins. I heard a lot of people really hated this movie. But honestly, this movie is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's high mid. The high mid's a good term. It's serviceable. It tells me the story of Wolverine. And I like hearing the story about Wolverine. I like Wolverine a lot. I want to know more about his past, and having this movie and watching it made me think, oh, this is his past. I see, I get it now. I'm a big fan, yay, Wolverine. I honestly want more X-Men origin movies, but I do know that this movie flopped at the box office, so there are no more origin movies. But, you know, this was a fine origin. I learned a lot about Wolverine, and I like him. And I feel more of like a human connection to him as a result. Other characters, I mean, the guy who was trying to get Wolverine to do the adamantium the entire time, I thought that was like a pretty cool guy. He's really evil. He's all right. His brother, Sabertooth, now that's a cool battle. And I like that he lost his memory, so he doesn't even know that Sabertooth is his brother. Also, there's this really cool battle scene where they're on top of this dam or something. Oh gosh, it's so scary. Wouldn't want to be there. Too much. I don't like it. I don't like the heights. I don't like feeling that I'm about to fall off the edge like these guys are. I like Sabertooth just jumps off. I'm like, man, you can really land on your feet because you can heal. Wow, that's pretty cool. Overall, I thought this movie was pretty fun. It's a fun movie. It's serviceable. I learned about Wolverine. It's not as bad as people will say, but the worst part of this movie has to be Deadpool. Seeing Deadpool with his mouth closed because he talks too much. I'm like, man, this guy who's doing these scientist experiments is really freaking evil, man. I feel like the entire point of Deadpool is that he talks, he quips, he breaks the fourth wall, and there's none of that. So, I like the directing, I like the shots. It was pretty neat. It was fun. It was a fun movie. Not too visually impressive. I think this movie focused more on character development, especially of Wolverine. But I do like how Wolverine worked at a place for logging place. What is that called? A cedar mill? He worked at a tree place. He was a lumberjack. And I like that. I want to learn more about everyone else. And I enjoyed this movie. So I gotta give this movie, it's a solid 6.9 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20. You do know it's at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of this, of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, by the way. You can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. Go here. And until next time, in salad sauce, I feel like my salad croutons and bacon bits. I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch you. Psych! I wouldn't want to do that. I want you to be alive to watch the next review.